quick question. Have you ever met someone who felt perfect, almost too perfect, right from the start? Don't overthink it, just answer honestly. Think about this for a second. Have you ever felt like someone understood you faster than they should have? Like they just got you immediately? That's not normal. Did that ever happen to you? If someone feels too perfect, too attentive, too obsessed with you, that's not love. That's design. And the most dangerous part is this. They won't chase you. They'll make you chase them. Because by the time you realize what's happening, you're already attached. You think it just happened, that you met someone, and everything clicked. It felt natural, effortless, almost unreal, like finally someone sees you. But that's the illusion. They didn't fall for you. They studied you, or your tone, your reactions, the way your energy shifts when you feel understood. They noticed what makes you open up, what makes you smile, what makes you stay. And then they became exactly that, not slowly, not over time, instantly. And that's where it begins. Because real connection takes time, but this skips time. And anything that skips time usually has a reason. They text you first, every time. They give you attention you didn't even know you needed. They say things like, "I've never met anyone like you. You're different. I feel something special with you." And it feels real. It feels intense. It feels rare. And that's exactly why it works. Because your brain doesn't question intensity. It rewards it. It floods you with dopamine. Be real with yourself. Did you start checking your phone more? Waiting for their message? Feeling that small rush when they replied? That feeling. Did you think it was love? Or something else? The same chemical behind addiction. So now, you're not just enjoying them, you're craving them. You start checking your phone more, replaying conversations, waiting for their messages, and when they respond, you feel relief, not happiness. Relief. And that's the shift, because now, they're not just someone you like, they've become something you need. And here's where it gets deeper. They don't just give you attention, they give you reflection. You say you love deep conversations, they say they do too. You talk about your past, they mirror your pain. Or you open up and they meet you there, perfectly, almost too perfectly. And you start thinking, this is my person, this is different, this is real. But what you're feeling is not connection, it's familiarity. Manufactured familiarity. They are not showing you who they are. They are showing you who you want, and your brain accepts it because it feels right, even when it isn't. And then something changes. Not all at once, just enough for you to notice. The messages slow down. The energy shifts. The attention becomes inconsistent. And suddenly, you feel it. That anxiety, that confusion, that quiet question in your mind. What did I do wrong? And that's the trap. Because now, you're no longer experiencing them. You're chasing them. You're trying to get back to the beginning. Oh, back to when it felt perfect. Back to when they made you feel chosen. But that version was never real. It was created, designed, and now it's gone. And your brain doesn't understand why, so it tries to fix it. It tries harder. You give more. You think more. You feel more. And slowly you lose control. Because this is where people get stuck, not because they don't see the problem, but because they remember the feeling, the beginning, the intensity, the way everything just flowed. And your mind keeps telling you, if I can just get that back, if I can just fix this, but you're not trying to fix them. You're trying to relive something that never existed. And that's what makes it powerful, because you're chasing an illusion, and illusions don't respond. They disappear. Love bombing works because it targets something deeper than logic. It targets your need to feel seen, to feel chosen, to feel important to someone. And when someone gives you all of that, instantly, your brain skips the most important step: time. Time is what reveals truth. Time is what builds real connection. Time is what exposes inconsistency. But when everything happens fast, there's no time to question anything. There's only time to feel, and feelings can be controlled. And here's the part most people don't want to hear. It didn't work because they were powerful. It worked because you were open, because you wanted something real, because you allowed yourself to feel. And that's not weakness, that's human. But in the wrong hands, that openness becomes a target. And they don't fall in love with you. They focus on how easily you attach, how deeply you feel, how quickly you respond. And once they understand that, they don't need to control you anymore, because you're already connected, already invested, already hoping it goes back to what it was. But it won't, because what it was never stable. It was intense. And intensity doesn't last. It fades. And when it fades, you're left trying to understand something that was never meant to make sense. So the next time someone feels too perfect, too intense, too fast, pause. Don't rush into the feeling. Don't get lost in the attention. And don't confuse intensity with connection, because real connection doesn't overwhelm you. It builds, slowly, naturally, without pressure, without confusion. Without that constant need to question where you stand, and the moment you feel like something is moving too fast, ask yourself one question. Why? Why does this feel so strong, so early? Why does this person feel like everything I've been missing? Without even knowing me fully, because that question is what breaks the illusion. That question is what brings you back to awareness. And awareness is what keeps you in control, because the moment you start questioning it is the moment you stop being pulled into it. And that is exactly what they don't want. And here's the part almost nobody talks about. The part that makes this even more dangerous. Because what if I told you it doesn't always stop with them? And sometimes, even after they pull away, even after the silence, even after the confusion, they're still in control. Not physically, not emotionally, but psychologically. Because now, they've changed how you see love. You start expecting intensity. You start craving that fast connection. You start comparing everyone new to something that was never real. And without realizing it, you begin rejecting healthy connections because they feel too slow, too normal, too calm. And suddenly, peace feels boring. Stability feels unfamiliar. And real love doesn't feel like love anymore. That's the after effect. That's the hidden damage. That's how the control continues, even when they're gone. And here's the twist most people never see coming. You don't just miss them. You miss who you were when you were with them. On the version of you that felt wanted, the version of you that felt special, the version of you that felt chosen. And now, you're not chasing them anymore. You're chasing that version of yourself. And that's why it's so hard to let go. Because letting go doesn't just mean losing them. It means accepting that the feeling you experienced was built on something unstable. And that realization hurts more than the loss itself. But here's where everything changes. Because once you see it clearly, once you understand the pattern, once you recognize the speed, you can't be controlled the same way again. You start noticing things earlier. You start questioning faster. You start protecting your attention, your energy, your time. And that's when the power shifts. Because the same awareness, that breaks the illusion, also rebuilds you. Slower, stronger, clearer. And now, instead of chasing intensity, you start choosing consistency. Instead of reacting emotionally, you start observing patterns. Instead of getting pulled in, you start stepping back. And the people who rely on manipulation can't work with that because they need speed. They need emotional reactions. They need you to feel before you think. But once you learn to pause, once you learn to observe, once you learn to question, you become someone they can't control anymore. And that's when something strange happens. The same behaviors that once pulled you in start pushing you away. The same intensity that once felt exciting starts feeling suspicious. And the same words that once made you feel special start sounding rehearsed. And for the first time, you're not inside the experience, you're watching it. And that awareness is what breaks the cycle. So the next time someone comes into your life and everything feels too perfect, too fast, too intense, don't just feel it, study it. Because now you understand something most people don't. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let me ask you something deeper. Did it ever feel like you found someone who was exactly like you? Same thoughts, same energy, same pain, almost too aligned? Think about that. Hannah, when things changed, when the energy dropped, did you blame yourself? Did you sit there wondering, what did I do wrong? Be honest. Were you trying to fix the situation, or were you trying to get back to how it felt in the beginning? Right now, as you're watching this, is there someone in your mind? Someone this reminds you of? Don't ignore that. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Did you ignore red flags just because of how they made you feel? Do you think you were attracted to them? Or to the feeling of being chosen? There's a difference. Which one was it for you? This one is hard. But be honest. Were you missing them? Or missing how they made you feel about yourself? If someone new came into your life right now and made you feel that same intensity, would you fall for it again? Or would you pause this time? Before you go, I want you to do something simple, not for me, but for yourself. If this video made you pause, if it made you question something, if it made you see a pattern you didn't notice before, then don't ignore that feeling. Take 1 second and like this video. Not because it's content, but because it helped you become aware of something real. And if there's even one person you know who might be stuck in something like this right now, share this with them. You don't have to explain anything. Just send it. Because sometimes people don't realize what's happening to them until they see it from the outside. And if you want to understand more of this, if you want to start seeing things before they happen, if you don't want to fall into the same patterns again, then subscribe. Because this channel isn't just about watching, it's about understanding. And once you understand this, you don't experience people the same way again. You start seeing the patterns. You start noticing the signs. You start protecting your energy, and that changes everything.